fancy intro music. Yeah! Woo!
Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode talking about automated defenses. Sorry for the delay in this coming out. I was told that patch notes were going to drop, and then when they dropped, they actually didn't have any daggum information in them. So I'm going to give you some daggum information about these because apparently patch notes just give you the generic of, hey, they're here. Comment if you saw the patch notes and still want to know what the heck's going on. Well, that's what Rev Deuce is for. So there is a new line of refits called ship abilities. It's actually right over here. See, okay, this way is easier. Ship abilities. So what this means is there are now 6, as you can see, 6 abilities for miners. You've got the automated defenses for the Antares, the Valky, Skavort, Hydra, Vortivore, and the Bakchor. Now these can be found inside of your brand new Bajoran faction store. Before you ask, yes, you can eventually source these for free, but of course, you can like this video to get one for, actually, you won't get one for free liking the video, but you can buy them this week. But they all have a very, very unique purpose. Now, you're gonna read these and go, holy crap, this sounds so OP, but just pay attention to the rest of the video, I'll explain it. But unlocking the automated defense ability. When a player attacks you on a mining node, your combat officer abilities are negated. Negative 100% to captain's maneuver and officer ability. So basically they just see no point in running the trap crews if you want to run these. So, I mean, don't run the TOS checkoff type crews. If you're trying to run this, you would just run a regular mining crew. But you get plus 5,000% base damage increase. For reference, by the way, your bonuses and all, depending on what level you are, anywhere from 800 to maybe 2,500. So huge damage boost, plus 3 extra shots from the whole for the whole of combat. Remember that miners only shoot 1 shot per round, and then they will delay enemy weapons fire for 8 rounds. That's a huge delay. And this is something that we'll be testing out a lot on Twitch when we get them. But right now, they all exist for the faction miners for 3-star and 4-star. Now, for those higher level players, the thoughts of those of you out there with like a Nova, the thought is basically, well, those are already so strong, you don't really need those right now. We'll see if something like that comes in for the future. Now, if you click on the rest of these, you'll see they all have the same loadout, the same design. And in terms of look, oh, the look is basically the exact same. In fact, there is no way to tell if this skin is active on a miner. And that's scary, right? Like, that's like, holy crap, Rev, what are we going to actually do? Like, how do we fight this? What do we do? Don't worry, Rev's got you. Rev's going to just like wrap you together and hold you in his arms and make sure it's all going to be all right. The truth is, even though you won't see that they're active, you can't see anything from it, you will actually be able to beat them. Here is why. I'm gonna go over exactly how it works. So to source this new mechanic, you're going to go into your faction store with the Bajorans, and you'll find them now here, where you've got to be pack strong to be able to get them. Which, if y'all remember from our Ripper, he provided like the levels to that. I think that's the 4th one or the 5th one. I have to go back and look. Let's see, we've got it in my Discord. I'll pull it up here in a second and we'll talk about it. So basically, you've got to get to this level right here, and then you'll be able to start slowly acquiring these skins. Now, I do want to point out that these are different. They're very much like a cloaking system, and that's how I talked to, when I was talking to the devs about them, that's how I really got the impression what I discussed them being like. They are a cloaking system because they work temporarily. So here, I've got it on the screen here. I can put it up here. Thank you, Ripper, for always having these handy dandy details. Here you go, everybody. Bingo. These are the levels. So Pac Strong means you've got 50,000 reps. So a little bit of a ways for everybody. Wait, did I put it on the screen? I did not. Here, let me put it on the screen for you. Oh my gosh, Rev, you noob. There you go. Pac Strong. Thank you, Ripper. That is pinned in my Discord. If you have not joined the Discord already, strongly encourage you to. Lots of really good information in the Discord. So what you'll do past that point now is once you unlock these, you apply them like you would a cloak, and then you're going to need to spend these orb splinters to use them. So that implies there is a duration. That duration is, I believe, 3 hours. So you'll launch it, and then that ship will have this level of protection for 3 hours. Now, keep in mind, you need the orb splinters. There's a limited amount that you can run. You can't just have this going all the time. But very potentially useful for something like a Mining Monday or something where raiders like Rev Deuce like to come in and hit your OPC. You can be like, nah. Remember that old one from Jurassic Park? So there are now 6 of these special units. Now, keep in mind, this will use some of the new Bajoran currency that we're talking about being so valuable and different things. But this gives more to this Bajoran faction to really incentivize participating in it, grinding into it, and finding a way to work in what is becoming one of my favorite factions in the game. As long as I can lower the actual time sink for all this, which I actually had a conversation with one of the devs about that earlier today. It's actually a really good lengthy conversation about how them saying, yeah, we see where you're coming from, but there's too much grind. This is a thing that we're discussing in-house, and hopefully that translates to actual change. And I'm really curious, by the way, ideas y'all might have that could reinforce that. So put your ideas for time sync below. One of the things that I suggested was, for example, this is one of the many I suggested, was that, hey, take the Eclipse hostiles, for example. Why don't we add a daily where if we hit an Eclipse Armada for the day, real quick, we use our alliance, we're working together, we're using the fun part of the mechanic, and if we complete that, bam, you got 100,000 of the keys. You would still need to grind keys for the day, but you'd hit that. That helps pay for, your dailies and stuff like that. Like for me, I need 120,000 at partner when it comes to my rogue level. So if I got 100,000, I'd still have to go grind 20,000, but it's a lot less. And using those type of mechanics to lower the amount of grind in the game. Similar to how this is actually going to hurt some of the grind for players like me, because I like to mine with OPC. I go out with my Vidar or something else and beat a ship. But these, with the weapons bonuses they're getting, an Antares is definitely going to beat like an Enterprise if it's got this going, unless that Enterprise is just loaded to the max and like ready to take this on. And I love this idea. Automated defense, it's a limited time use. You can't use it all the time because you will have to have a separate currency for it. Take a shot if you ever heard that word before. Yay, currencies. But I am really curious what players think about this. I mean, I'm a big fan of this as a system. I mean, like the video if you agree, hit subscribe. But for those curious, you will be able to unlock these for free through the faction store. Keep in mind that means that you have to choose what you're going after. So maybe you're going after the 120 shards needed for your Antares, but what if that means you have to sacrifice one of these other things that we're going for? We did a video talking about the Bajoran faction store and things to grind in it and the going about the process of how you do that. So all this is something that players have to then be cognizant of. What's the best strategy for me? But if you're a heavy miner, especially those who like to take, first place, second place, third place in those leaderboards that come around every week, well, this is something that helps that. It actually makes you a better player in that regard. Or if you're a player who simply, incursions come around, like, hey, leave me the heck alone during incursions. This can be another thing that can incentivize people leaving you the heck alone during incursions. So miners fighting back has been something that players have talked about for quite some time. And while you've got a lot of things to balance here, like you see me, I've already gone after Prophet's Reward, going after one of the favors. All of these things are things that you're going to have to decide as we get deeper and deeper in this new faction. But War Shields now being applied to miners, I think is a pretty interesting step forward in the game. And I'm always curious what you think. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'd also encourage you to join the Discord. If you haven't already, join the Discord. The link is in the description of this video to provide your feedback and thoughts. And don't forget, as I requested in the beginning of the video, give me your thoughts on what you would like to see to lower the time sink. We obviously don't want to get rid of old content. Like, don't just throw away Outlaw, don't just throw away Swarms and Borg, but how can they be made to make it quicker so that we can be incentivized to get into the new stuff and enjoy the new stuff more? Because the Mantis was already 30-45 minute grind, and now I've got a 30-45 minute grind just to get all the stuff needed to actually go run these daggone Bajoran armadas by doing the exchange hostiles. And there's only so much time in a day. Because this is still a mobile game, we got to find a way to find that balance. Once again, to remind you, we are on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I did. Live long and prosper. Stay safe for the Space Cowboys. Deuces. That's me. I'll catch you in the next one. Can't wait to see what feedback y'all come up with. Y'all always have like some fantastic ideas, and I will be here when y'all come back and need more information.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.